I guess I love telling this story, and it was a great moment for me as a father. And I think, as I said before, Amber and I had made a very conscious decision to spend as much time with our kids in their early years as we possibly could, and that was a real challenge, especially living in Sydney and in a very dynamic city, and with all of its expenses. But we both come from country backgrounds. And we saw the value of having fathers around and the importance of that, and it was something that we wanted to almost do, was bring that idea of the country availability of fathers in that country environment into the city and see if we could make that happen. And it was very challenging. We saw a lot of our friends kind of being out in the world and making a lot of money, and where we'd made a decision to focus on children in those very early years. And I think being a parent, you never know whether you're doing the right thing. There's no rule book, but it was something that we felt very strongly about. And I'll never forget a day when my two oldest, Will and Gracie, and Rosie had just been born. Will and Gracie, I was taking Will and Gracie down to Trumper Oval to kick a football. And one morning, it was about 10 o'clock on a Wednesday morning, and I was packing, I had a kid under one arm and, balls on the other, and they were kind of spilling out over the road. And I wasn't doing much of a job of it, and this man was walking along the street, and he saw me, kids and balls and the whole thing, and he was immaculately dressed, very handsome man, maybe in his early 80s, and he just stood and watched this kind of mayhem unfold. And I said good morning to him, and he smiled and he watched, and it was 10 o'clock on a Wednesday morning, and he looked at me and he said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Oh, we've just had baby number 3. My wife's very busy with number 3, and I'm taking these 2 kids down to kick a ball down at Trumper Oval." And he looked at me and he said, "I wish I'd done that." And I'll never forget that moment, because it was such a verification and validation of what we're doing. And he then went on to say, he said, when I had my kids, it was so important, making money and doing this and, the better house. And he said there was always enough food. There was always, enough clothes. There was always a roof over our head. And he said, I was so busy out in the world doing those things. He said, I missed out on those young years. And he said, I regret that. I really missed out on some really special times. And he said, enjoy this morning with your kids. He said, because you never get these times again. And he just kept walking. And it was such a moment for me. And again, you never know whether you're doing the right thing, but it was just one of those moments where, I thought we might just be, or I might be just doing the right thing. And they are special moments, and you never get those times again. I think there'll always be an opportunity to make more money or have a bigger house, and they're all possibilities down the track. But you just never get those times again.